So I have been wanting to make this video for a while. I feel like especially after I reached age 29, I've been really thinking a lot about my past self and just who I was in my 20s and I don't know, like all of the things that I wish that I knew when I was younger. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my advice, kind of like an older sister, little sister kind of vibe, of things that I would tell my younger self if I was being brutally honest. The very first piece of advice that I learned comes from the one and only Gary Vee, who said, "You're not lazy, you just don't love what you're doing." And it really struck me because I remember feeling in my 20s like I would want to get up for work and I would want to do well at work, but I feel like something was just holding me back. It wasn't really a me issue, it was more so that I wasn't passionate about what I was doing. So I really took a step back and thought a lot more about what type of a company do I want to work for? Do I even want to work for a company? Do I want to build a side hustle for myself? I kind of just started to ask myself all of those questions. I think the more I thought about it, the more I realized that it wasn't really me. It was the work that I was doing and that I wasn't truly passionate about it. This brings me to my second piece of advice, which is living alone is honestly really difficult, but I kind of feel like it's necessary to learn who you truly are, and I feel like it helps you grow so much. I think gaining a sense of independence, especially in your younger years, is so important because when you reach your 30s and beyond, for a lot of people that becomes like having kids or living with someone else or having a spouse or whatever. I feel like the time that you spend by yourself is so crucial because you really get to know who you are. You get to know how you live and how you like to live. Something else that I wish I could tell my younger self is that more people want to be your friend than you think, which honestly sounds kind of sad, but I feel like when you're in your 20s, a lot of people struggle with feeling so alone. And honestly, I feel like everybody is going through very similar things and you're definitely not alone. There's always someone else experiencing what you're also going through. When I would start reaching out to people, there were so many people that were up for hanging out. So many more people than I even would have imagined. There's almost like a running joke of like no one has any friends. People more often than not will hang out with you and like they want to hang out with you and want to have more friends too. Something else that I wish I could tell my younger self is that you don't lose your friends because of distance or from them moving away. You only lose friends if your friendship was based on proximity. I was really kind of confused on friendship and how that was supposed to maintain itself when people move away, but I really quickly noticed that the people that really wanted to be in my life consistently reached out. I know the people that I'm closest to, no matter where they lived in the whole entire world, I would reach out to them and contact them and FaceTime them, call them, whatever means to maintain the friendship, especially when you're in college and you share like a dorm with someone or you have friends based on having classes with them. Once you leave college, you really learn who your real friends are and who really wants to put an effort into your friendship and who was just kind of friends with you because you were close by. Something else that I would tell my younger self is that if you hold yourself back because of what other people think, you're never gonna truly be happy. I think that this really stems from myself wanting to make a YouTube channel quite a long time ago. Like I really thought about it even back in college. I remember having little like thoughts about doing it. And even though I started my channel about 4 years ago now, I still now think about how I wanted to do it so long ago and I was always scared of what people would think and if they would judge me. Honestly, whenever I see other people doing something that they're interested in or feeling creative with, I'm so inspired by that. A lot of times I think people are scared of being like cringy or making people feel secondhand embarrassment, but honestly, if it's what you really want to do, I feel like no level of embarrassment can really stop you. Also, people tend to hate when they're either jealous that they're not doing the same thing or they're not following their own dreams. Another bit of advice that I would tell my past self is that you don't need alcohol to be a fun or better version of yourself. The more that I learned about alcohol and its effects on you, the less interested I have been in consuming it. And to be honest, when I sat and really thought about it, I realized like I honestly like tea and coffee and orange juice and other drinks so much more than I like alcohol. And this isn't to say that you can't ever have alcohol, but I feel like there's just such a social culture around alcohol and drinking and that people become a looser, cooler, better version of themselves. I honestly kind of like having the power of knowing that I don't need the alcohol to make myself a better version of me. Like I'm still myself, but I feel like a healthier and better version of myself, honestly, when I don't drink. No shade, no hate to anybody that wants to drink, but for me personally, I just don't feel the benefits or see the benefits as outweighing how I feel when I don't drink alcohol. Something else that I wish I could tell my younger self is that I feel like it makes working so much easier when you can go to your like 9-to-5 job or whatever you do for work, and then after you're done, you have something else that you're building on the side, because it makes work feel a lot less draining. And in my 20s especially, I really struggled with going to work and coming back home and like legitimately not knowing what to do with myself besides like cook, clean, sleep, and then get ready for work again. And it was honestly so miserable. I feel like now whenever I have free time, I'm actually thinking of ways that I can build my side business, my YouTube channel. And this isn't to say that everybody needs this. Like, some people really do love their jobs, but at least just having something to look forward to after you're done with work, whether that's like working out, join a soccer team, or start cooking. Like, there's so many things that you can do to better yourself in your free time instead of just like sitting around and watching TV and waiting for work to come again, because like that's not living your life to the fullest at all. Something else that I would love to tell my younger self is that sleep is the foundation of joy in your life. I feel like my sleep was so messed up in my 20s. I never had a routine. The more that you can invest in enjoying your sleep routine, whether that's like winding down with a cup of tea or doing a little bit of self-care before you go to bed, like the best sleep cannot be beat. It sets you up for everything else that you want to achieve and everything that you want to accomplish in your day and eventually in your life. Something else that I wish I could tell my younger self is to take a closer look at my closest friends. And that sounds really brutal, but to be honest, I think a lot of people get stuck in comfortable friendships, and honestly, that's not really enough to stay with just because you're comfortable. And when I think about who I surround myself with, I feel really proud of the people that I've kept and the people that I've cut off. It's really difficult to look at people that you're really close to, because when you examine some of them from a distance, I think there's things that can really, really bother you and things that you also really love about those people too. But I think if it's overwhelmingly negative, then it's time to go. I literally put it on my vision board: surround yourself with people who make your mental health better. I would much rather have people like that than people who are gonna make you feel drained and worse off during your day, because like, who wants that? Something else that I wish I could tell my younger self is that you're not required to attend every event, and you don't need to feel bad about it. It's really easy to feel guilted. I would constantly say yes to opportunities to the point where I was neglecting things that I really wanted to do or get done just because I felt this heaping burden of guilt of like, I need to see everybody when I have the chance to. It's okay to just straight up say no. Like, you can choose yourself. Something else that I wish I could tell myself so badly is to make it clear what your goals are and what you want your future to look like. I kind of would live in this state of like, I knew vaguely what I wanted my future to look like, but I never actually laid it out. This is the first year in my entire life that I decided to make myself a vision board. When you really break it down, it actually helps you achieve what you want to. I also put my vision board literally right across from my bed, because I wake up and I look at it right away. Like, it's the first thing that I see when I wake up, and it keeps me so much more focused on what my dreams are and what I want to accomplish. Something else that I think is really important: your trendy clothes aren't going to be trendy clothes forever. I would spend stupid amounts of money on things that were trendy in the moment. Those things are going to go out of style, and you're probably going to get rid of those things that you purchased years ago. I think as you get older, you really start to think about how you spend your money and where you want your money to go. I would buy a new thing for so many events that I would go to, and now I legitimately will just try to be creative with what I have in my closet and like make it work. Sorry, my camera died, but we're back now. Something else that I wish I could tell my younger self is to prep at night, because it helps you so much with being early and being on time the next day. Getting yourself ready the night before honestly helps so much with how peaceful the next day is, especially for me. Shout out to anyone else who has curly hair, but it is so difficult to do my hair in the morning and then also do my makeup or pick out an outfit and get everything ready to go in the morning. Like, I love doing it at night now because I have all the time in the world. Truly, the more you can prep at nighttime the night before, the easier that your next day is gonna be. The last one that I'm gonna share is that I wish that I told myself when I was younger to wear sunscreen every day. I feel like a lot of people don't think about this in their crazy lives. I know there's a lot to remember, especially for younger me. I was always like out doing stuff and I was constantly in the sun and not wearing sunscreen, and that's just not good for you. So wear your sunscreen every day, people. Wear your sunscreen. Okay, I think this is gonna do it for me. Let me know if you guys want me to make a part 2, because this was honestly so fun to just compile all of the things that I would tell younger me, and I have so many more to share, but I will save those for another time. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week. Bye.